Did you know that your dog's agitation, anxiety, and even excessive barking can be directly related to the food he consumes? In this video, you'll understand why so many pet owners are reporting a drastic change in their dog's behavior after adjusting their diet, and what the science says about it. Discover how fresh, natural, and functional ingredients can transform a restless dog into a balanced, calm animal that is more connected with the tutor. Let's talk about the role of serotonin, the gut microbiota, silent inflammation, and the most common mistakes in the diet of hyperactive dogs. Based on real reports and veterinary fundamentals, this video is a practical guide for those looking not only to eat better, but live better with your best friend. Watch to the end and see how a simple change in the plate can bring peace to the whole house. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell for more content on natural nutrition, canine health, and wellness. Like the video so that this information reaches more people who really love their dogs. In recent years, more and more owners have noticed how simple changes in their dog's diet can cause profound transformations in behavior. And among the most surprising effects is the visible reduction of agitation, anxiety, and even mild aggressiveness. A dog that used to be restless with difficulty concentrating, destroying objects, or barking nonstop suddenly begins to show clear signs of emotional balance. And all this without the use of medication or intensive training. But how is this possible? Is there really a link between what the dog eats and his mental state? The answer is yes, and it's much closer to science than you might think. The first thing that many owners don't know is that common industrialized food, such as extruded food, can contain chemical additives, artificial preservatives, dyes, and highly processed substances that, even if allowed by regulatory agencies, can affect the dog's nervous system in the long term. These ingredients can interfere with the natural production of neurotransmitters such as serotonin, dopamine, and GABA, all of which are responsible for controlling mood, sleep, appetite, and behavioral balance. When an animal is constantly fed compounds that inflame the body or generate unnecessary metabolic peaks, this is reflected in the body and also in the mind. A practical example that has been widely shared among tutors and nutrition professionals is the transition to natural diets, such as the BARF, biologically appropriate raw food, model, or even balanced cooked versions. When a dog starts eating fresh, raw, or minimally processed foods, rich in essential amino acids, good fats, bioavailable minerals, and natural fiber, the impact is not only physical. Many owners report that in a matter of 1 or 2 weeks, the dog starts to sleep better, bark less, react less impulsively, and even socialize more stably with other animals. One of the most direct explanations for this is in tryptophan, an amino acid present in lean meats, eggs, and some vegetables, essential for the production of serotonin, the neurotransmitter that regulates well-being. In many commercial feeds, tryptophan is present in minute concentrations, or underused due to excess refined carbohydrates and preservatives. In a natural diet, it is available in its purest form, facilitating the natural synthesis of serotonin in the intestine. That's right, in the gut. About 90% of serotonin in dogs, and humans as well, is produced in the gut, not in the brain. This is why many veterinarians and canine behaviorists have begun to use the phrase second brain to refer to the digestive system. In addition to tryptophan, a natural diet rich in omega-3 fatty acids from fish such as sardines, anchovies, or the use of high-quality fish oil has shown potent anti-inflammatory effects, including on the central nervous system. Studies with anxious dogs have shown that by introducing rich sources of omega-3 and 6 into the diet, there was a significant reduction in destructive behaviors, tremors, reactivity, and even hyperactivity in puppies. But it's not just about adding a supplement or swapping out the main protein. The secret lies in the overall quality of the diet. Fresh ingredients, a variety of protein sources, fibrous vegetables such as zucchini and carrots, small portions of antioxidant-rich fruits, and the total absence of inflammatory ingredients such as corn, wheat, soy, or artificial colors. When the dog's body stops fighting substances that it does not recognize as real food, it saves metabolic energy. And this energy can be redirected to emotional regulation, hormonal balance, and behavioral stability. Many tutors report that after the transition to this new eating model, the dog starts to react better to simple commands, responds more calmly to visits or external noises, and even improves the affective bond with the humans in the house. Dogs that previously did not tolerate being alone begin to accept the absence of the owner without excessive barking. Others, who were possessive or tense with other animals, showed more tolerance and curiosity without reactivity. And all this without the introduction of anxiolytics, special collars, or hours of training. The key point of this change is not only what was removed from the diet, but mainly what was introduced. By offering a real diet, rich in functional nutrients and adapted to the dog's body, the body finds its natural balance. And with it, the mind also finds peace. Anyone who thinks that the benefits of a natural diet are restricted to digestion, shiny fur, or immunity is wrong. The dog's brain is a direct extension of what he eats, and the behavior is a reflection of that. In the second block, we dive even deeper into the scientific evidence and practical observation made by veterinarians, nutritionists, behaviorists, and thousands of owners around the world who have noticed the same transformation. A dog that eats real food returns to acting like a balanced dog. To understand this, it is necessary to understand how silent inflammation can be a hidden enemy in canine behavior. Ingredients such as byproduct flours, corn gluten, GMO soybeans, and artificial antioxidants are often labeled as safe. But what is not explained to the owner is that these ingredients can trigger a state of chronic low-grade inflammation in the dog's body. This inflammation, although it does not generate fever or clear symptoms of illness, affects cognition, mood, sleep quality, and emotional stability. In more sensitive dogs, this inflammatory load can manifest itself as constant restlessness, hyperalertness, binge eating, or even mild aggression. By replacing these foods with functional and anti-inflammatory ingredients, the signs of behavioral relief do not take long to appear. Fresh meats, offal such as chicken liver or beef kidney, fibrous vegetables such as pumpkin, chayote, and cabbage, and fats from coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil offer a nutritional base that deactivates this toxic load and restores the body's ability to self-regulate. And this goes beyond nutrition. It is behavioral biochemistry. Many owners who report this transformation share similar stories. Dogs that previously could not relax at night, even after long walks, started to sleep soundly. Those who did not accept being alone for half an hour now stay calm for 2 or 3 hours without signs of anxiety. In visits to the veterinary clinic, dogs that previously growled or trembled now accept the touch of the professionals with serenity. And when an owner witnesses this, there is no denying it. The food directly interferes with the animal's mind. Another essential point is the role of the intestine as a regulator of the brain-intestine axis. When the gut microbiota is out of balance, a condition known as dysbiosis, there is direct interference with the levels of serotonin, dopamine, and even melatonin. The presence of beneficial bacteria, such as lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, depends on the fiber present in the diet. In other words, it is not enough to feed the dog. It is necessary to feed the good bacteria that live in his body. And this is only possible with real ingredients. Fermented foods like kefir, lactose-free, small portions of unsweetened plain yogurt, or even the use of natural prebiotics like sweet potatoes and chicory have been shown to improve gut health and, with it, mental balance. An emotionally balanced dog is also more receptive to learning, positive training, and living in stimulating environments. This means that by changing the diet, the tutor is not only avoiding physical diseases in the future, but also expanding the dog's ability to live in harmony with his routine, with other animals, and with the humans in the house. Correct nutrition is therefore one of the pillars of stable behavior. Many professionals in the field have already incorporated this approach definitively. Before prescribing any behavioral treatment, they observe the animal's diet. When necessary, they suggest a veterinarian-guided transition to a natural, balanced diet. In more than 60% of the documented cases, the dietary change alone was enough to reduce symptoms such as excessive barking, compulsion to gnaw on objects, fear of noises, and even sporadic episodes of aggressiveness. And for owners who are still hesitant, it is important to know it is not necessary to make drastic changes overnight. Small steps already bring results. Replacing a third of the food with fresh food, offering hard-boiled eggs a few times a week, adding a spoonful of lightly cooked vegetables to dinner, all of this already represents a leap in the dog's quality of life, and most importantly, a direct bridge to calmer, safer, and more loving behavior. What starts as a feeding experiment can, for many owners, turn into the rediscovery of a deeper bond with their dog. In the third and final block, the focus turns to the exciting transformations that thousands of tutors report after changing their diet. Not only a calmer animal, but a more harmonious home, where daily stress decreases and coexistence becomes lighter. The dog is no longer a source of concern. It becomes a true companion again. Contrary to popular belief, many dogs that are labeled as difficult, nervous, dominant, or disobedient are just reacting to the invisible discomfort they feel inside their own body. Silent stomach pain, gas, reflux, intestinal inflammation, low-grade allergies, all of these create tension. And what the tutor sees is only the behavioral symptom: agitation, destruction of objects, exaggerated barking, uncontrolled jumping, excessive vigilance, and difficulty relaxing. So changing the food isn't just about nutrition, it's about allowing the dog to finally feel at peace. And peace comes quickly. Many owners report that after just 7 days of natural food, the dog already shows signs of serenity. The gaze softens, the body relaxes more at rest, the barking decreases in frequency, and above all, the animal begins to respond better to the environment. What was once intolerable noise now becomes something he observes and ignores. What once caused reactivity, such as a doorbell, vacuum cleaner, or other dog on the street, now provokes only curiosity. The organism, previously in a constant state of alert, now regulates, processes, and chooses how to react. This is real emotional balance. These reports are no exception. Veterinary clinics around the world have already documented this pattern. Dogs transitioning to a diet based on fresh ingredients show a reduction in cortisol levels, the stress hormone, an improvement in inflammation markers, and an increase in the diversity of the gut microbiota. It's as if the whole body is grateful, and the behavior is just a reflection of that. But to reap these results, it is essential that the tutor receives adequate guidance. Not every natural diet is automatically healthy. It is necessary to consider the animal's weight, size, activity level, possible allergies, digestive sensitivity, and even genetic predisposition. A well-formulated diet must contain the correct ratio between proteins, fats, fibers, minerals, and specific supplements, such as zinc, calcium, vitamin D3, and depending on the case, digestive enzymes. Therefore, the entire process must be done with veterinary monitoring or with a professional qualified in animal nutrition. Another essential tip for those who want to start this transition is to keep a food and behavioral diary. Record what was offered, how the dog reacted, how the energy level was, sleep, appetite, poop, and general behavior. In a few weeks, it is possible to observe patterns and find out which foods work best. Many owners, in doing so, realize that certain specific ingredients, such as beef liver, boiled egg, or pumpkin, have direct effects on the animal's mood and disposition. In addition, creating a peaceful environment at mealtimes is essential. Preventing the dog from eating under stress, competition, or excessive noise contributes to nutrient absorption and overall well-being. Eating should be a moment of calm, and this calmness is reflected in the rest of the day. Finally, understanding that each dog is unique is also essential. What works for one may not work for another, but the starting point is always the same: to offer real food. A dog that feeds itself with natural functional ingredients designed for its body is a dog that has the physiological foundations to be emotionally stable. The piece that the tutor sees in behavior begins first, on the plate. If you feel that your dog is agitated, nervous, disconnected, or overreacting to everyday stimuli, maybe the problem is not just in the environment or in the routine, but in food. And changing this can be the first step to transforming not only your best friend's behavior, but the relationship between you. Leave a comment. Have you noticed changes in your dog's behavior after changing their diet? Share this video with other owners who deal with agitated or anxious dogs. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell for more content on natural nutrition, canine health, and wellness. Like the video so that this information reaches more people who really love their dogs.